Hi guys, welcome to another maths tutorial brought to you by Direct Tutoring. In this lesson we're going to look at how to solve simple fractions. We have 4 different types. We have the addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, and we're going to have a look at how we tackle each of these. So I'll give you a wee minute and you can write down the questions that we're going to deal with. We're going to start off with 2 over 5 plus 3 over 4. Okay, so to start off with, we'll have 2 over 5 plus 3 over 4. Now, what we have to do is we use a technique called the kiss and smile method. And the way that it works is you cross multiply as follows. So underneath, we'll have an equal sign. So we're going to have 4 times 2, which is going to give us 8, divided by 5 times 4, which is going to give us 20. And it's the exact same process for the second one. 5 times 3, which is 15, divided by 20. Now, all you do is you add the top numbers. It's only the top numbers. When you get a common denominator on the bottom, you leave it as it is. So in this case, 8 plus 15, which is 23. Now this is a top heavy fraction, so we can turn this into mixed numbers. So how many 20 is going to 23? In this case, 1, remainder 3 over 20. And that is the first problem done. So that one there. So in this case, we'll look at B. And the question was 6 over 7 minus 2 over 3. Now, for subtraction, it is the same method as the addition. It is the kiss and smile. Okay, so underneath we'll do 3 times 6, which is 18, divided by 7 times 3, which is 21, and then minus 7 times 2, which is 14, divided by 7 times 3, which is 21. Now, same as the addition, it's only the top numbers that you take away. So 18 minus 14 gives you 4, divided by 21. And that is your final answer. Now, considering part C, the question was 4 over 5 times 3 over 4. Now, when we multiply fractions, all we have to do is multiply the 2 tops and the 2 bottoms. And that is it. So to multiply fractions is even easier. So it's 4 times 3, which is 12, divided by 5 times 4, which is 20. Now, this can simplify. If we divide both of these by 4, we end up with 3 over 5. And that is it for multiplying fractions. Now, if we consider part D, then the question was 5 over 6 divided by 2 over 3. Now, to divide fractions, there's a wee trick that you have to use, and it's to do with the second fraction. Now, when we divide fractions, you flip this one upside down. And what I mean by that is you keep the first fraction the same, which is 5 over 6, and then this becomes 3 over 2. Now, because we flipped this one upside down, we have to change the divide and it becomes multiply. And this is exactly the same as this one up here. So it's 5 times 3, which is 15, divided by 6 times 2, which is 12. Now, we can divide both of these by 3, which will get 5 over 4. And if we put that into mixed numbers, how many 4s go into 5? 1. Remainder 1 over 4. And that is your final answer. So, to summarise, to add or subtract fractions, you must get a common denominator on the bottom of the fraction before we can add or subtract the top numbers, and we use the kiss and smile method. For multiplying fractions, it is simply a case of multiply the two top numbers, multiply the two bottoms. That is it. And then for divide, you keep the first fraction the same, you flip the second fraction upside down, and then you multiply. And it is the exact same process. Now, you very rarely would get a question like that in the exam. However, you would expect something like this. Now, we have to use the process of BODMAS. And in order for us to solve this, we have to look at it in a slightly different way, because we have to treat the inside of the fraction first before we consider the 2 over 5. So, in this one, I'll write the question here, which is 2 over 5, bracket, and it was 1/4 plus, let's just check what it was, 3 over 5, plus 3 over 5. Now, if we consider the bracket first in here, okay, we consider only this bit first, and I'm going to do this in blue, okay, so we're going to solve 1/4 plus 3 over 5. Now, because we're adding the fractions, you have to use the kiss and smile. So we need a common denominator on the bottom. So 5 times 1, which is 5, divided by 4 times 5, which is 20, plus 4 times 3, which is 12, divided by 20. Now, 5 plus 12 is 17, divided by 20. Now, if we replace this with 17 over 20, let's see what happens. We'll put this in black. So at the side, we'll do 2 over 5 times 17 over 20. Now, all we have to do, if we remember from the last set of questions, you times the two tops, you times the two bottoms, and then we simplify where we can. So 2 times 17 is 34, divided by 5 times 20, which is 100. Now, can that simplify? If we divide these by 2, let's see what happens. So, how many 2's going to 3? 1. Remainder 1, which will make that 4. So you get 17 divided by 50. And that is your final answer. Now, that's the kind of question that you would expect in the exam, where you have to use BODMAS and multiple different techniques. Thank you for watching. For more maths content, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.